Hey guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. It is time for our very first pick a card video. So as you can see, we have three piles here. We have this one here with the sapphire, this one with the arrowhead, and this one has the moldavite. So we will get ready and we will dive into the very first pile with the sapphire. So this is the sapphire pile, and like I said, we had asked the universe to provide you with a message that you needed to hear at this time. And the first card that we have is Soul Time. And this card talks about the possibility of a new reality to emerge once we journey within ourselves. So soul time, especially during this particular time, which is Mercury retrograde right now, and all of these new energies coming in, it's very important that we're tuning in, we're doing the shadow work, and we are preparing our soul for the next reality that's coming. And that new reality can't come through if we're not clearing out the old, and one that embraces the concept of our body being mortal but the soul being timeless is really where we need to be with all of this. We are all infinite beings, and we're just here for a temporary experience. The heart chakra. So this card directly reflects the soul time, and this card is bringing together both the connectivity between your heart chakra, your soul, and merging the two together. And with this, we are bringing out a new way of loving and appreciating all that's around us, and especially ourselves, because we've been doing the work to heal our heart chakra. We've been doing the work for the soul time, and doing all of those things is going to produce magic at the very end. I'm sorry if you guys can't see these cards. So these three cards are past, present, and future. And this future card of magic is really beautiful because it's talking about our ability to grow and expand beyond this moment in time, which directly correlates with the heart chakra card as well as the soul time card. And we are all able to do magic and to make magic happen in our lives, but that magic in our lives cannot happen if our heart and our soul are not working together and we haven't done the soul time. I asked for a few clarifier cards for you guys, and this deck is the Moonology deck, and it says that if you guys are doing all of this work, then it's going to be a win-win outcome that's forecast. And I don't know if you guys can see the trend in these cards, but there's an awful lot of purple, which is represents our chakra that connects us to the divine source of energy. Okay, so this deck is the Earth Magic card, and this one, are you guys seeing the trend, the greens and the purples? This one talks about the forest and our breathing. And it's very important when we're doing our soul work and we're trying to find that coherence between our heart and our soul, that we're focused on our breath. And this card talks about potentially being in nature, but most importantly, being at peace, being at one in this space-time reality, and focusing on really tuning in to our breathing, to our connections that we have with our body and with source energy as well. So the final card that we have here is actually a double-sided card, and on one side there is a crystal, and on the other side there's an archangel message. So this one that we pulled is Cobra Jasper, and it says, have you been getting outdoors enough? It's time to reconnect with nature. Get out there and put your hands in the earth. Garden, walk in nature, play with animals, and allow earth beneath your feet and the sun above your head to nurture and realign you. I always love how these cards play out because, again, all the purples, the greens, all representative of the same thing. And then we have the Cobra Jasper telling us to get out in nature and focus on our breathing. And then we also have Archangel Thuriel, and it says, nature nurtures me. Animals and other creatures bring me messages that guide me in my life. My connection with Mother Earth provides vital energy. I'm grounded and I'm focused. Wow, you guys. So what this spread is basically telling me that you guys need to be doing some soul time work to make your magic happen. And the best way for you to recharge and reboot is to head out to the forest, to the woods, be out in nature, and really work on healing that heart chakra and doing your soul time. All right, that's the conclusion for pile 1. All right, guys, so these are the cards for pile 2 with the arrowhead. We will just get going on these. All right, so let's see what we have in the pile for those of you who chose the arrowhead. All right, so our first card is the solar plexus chakra card. So this card is directly related with our sense of self, our personal power, knowing who we are and what our contribution is to the whole. So with this solar plexus chakra card, you may be feeling a lack of self-worth, or maybe you're not really sure what your purpose is here. So you're kind of in a place where you don't really know how to move forward, and you don't really want to move forward because you don't really trust or believe in yourself. So in order to do that and to move forward with your life is all about the brain-heart coherence. So this card, which is sitting in the present position, is talking about optimizing the correspondence between your heart, your brain, and your soul. And we need to have these in alignment with each other so that we can feel our sense of power, we can feel our sense of self-worth, and that can't be taken away from us when it's coming from within. If we're constantly looking for outside things to bring us our sense of self or of our personal power, then those are always going to be short-lived. And what you really need to focus on is the ability to create the reality that you desire, and that can only come from having alignment with your heart chakra and your soul source connection. Okay, so the future card is about discernment, and that is directly talking about viewing the world from a place of inner balance. And we can't achieve the inner balance again without going and having the coherence between our brain, heart, and soul, and with the coherence happening, so the synchronicities between the heart and the brain and the soul will then bring us about our sense of self, our sense of worth, and it will help us to realize who we are, why we're here, and what our contribution is. But if we're not doing these things and we're not focused on how to improve ourselves from an inner perspective, then we're not going to be able to look at the world and come from a place of compassion and wisdom. And I really feel like everybody out there really wants to come to the table with wisdom and knowledge and compassion. So let's see what clarifier cards we have for you guys. All right, so this card is the Ocean card, and it says ebb and flow. Not surprising, giving these cards. So this one is really talking about the flow of life. And once we have found that inner sense of oneness, of wholeness, it doesn't matter which way the pendulum of life is swinging, because just like the ocean, there's always ebb and flow. So if you maintain your calm the entire time, then it doesn't matter if the waves are crashing against the beach or if they're being pulled out to sea, because we have our sense of self-worth, we have our sense of personal power, we have our sense of self-love. Everything is completely aligned. So we're looking at the world now from a place of compassion and wisdom, where we're able to flow beautifully with whatever situations happen to come to us. Okay, so the next card is for the waxing crescent moon, and it says to have faith in your dreams. These cards really have a lot of the colors here, and this one is predominantly purple again, and where it's saying to have faith in your dreams, that really is your connection to source, to building the life that you really want to live, the reality that you want to be in. And you can't have faith in your dreams if you don't have that sense of inner stability and personal power. Ooh, fun. Okay, so the crystal card that came up is malachite. This is one of my personal favorite cards and crystals, really. But this says, what patterns in life do you keep repeating? Walk the inner labyrinth and find the higher spiritual purpose for your challenges and lessons. Discover and release the patterns that no longer serve you, and look for the emerging patterns of joy, harmony, and inner peace. Move forward in your evolutionary spiral upward. This is so cool. The cards always come out exactly the way that they're supposed to, but this fits perfect, because you can't have the patterns of joy and the peace and the harmony as a constant in your life if you haven't done the inner work. You'll always be searching for something on the outside to make you happy, to bring you that joy. So our archangel message is from Archangel Raphael, and it says, I find balance within. I feel my feelings and I embrace my emotions. Love swirls into my life. I recognize repetitive patterns and I choose patterns of love, compassion, and kindness. I focus on my heart center. I treasure the lessons I learn through being in relationships with others. Wow, guys, that's beautiful. So this whole thing, and with all of the energies that have been happening, coming in right now, the Mercury retrograde, all of that, we are already in a time where we're being forced to look at our repetitive patterns and to make a choice if we want to repeat that pattern and do that cycle again, or if we want to stop it where it is and transmute that energy into something that's more beneficial to us. And call me crazy, but if a pattern is repeating in your life and it's not bringing you a sense of peace at all, then you need to stop that pattern. So whatever it may be in your life, now is the time to break that habit, to have faith in your dreams, to find your inner sense of strength and self and power, and reclaim all of that, so that you can come and you can look at this world and all of the events within it from a place of compassion and wisdom. And the only way that you will fail at this is if you refuse to do the inner work. So you guys, have faith in your dreams, find your balance, and reclaim that power. All right, that's all for pile 2. Okay, so we have pile 3, and that is the Moldavite pile. So let's see what the cards have in store for you guys. Very first card, Authority. So a lot of the times when this card comes up, especially like for people who may have issues with authority, as soon as they see this card or they see the word, some people can be triggered by it, but it doesn't mean that somebody is going to abuse their authoritative power. It just means that there is that true, powerful, directed energy in an authority, but it can also be very loving and wise. So we don't need to look at the position of authority in a negative way always, because you can look at it as taking your own personal power back. Now, that being said, in that card, there's a lot of yellow and there's a lot of green. And the yellow represents the solar plexus chakra and the green represents your heart chakra. And we learned in the last reading that the solar plexus chakra is really about your sense of self-worth and taking back your personal power. So this card is telling us that, you know, hey, maybe you need to look into your personal power. And are you running everything through your heart center? Because if you are running everything through your heart center, then you have your sense of power, and you're also coming at things from a love and compassionate standpoint. So we have the next one. It's consciousness. All right, so this card, you can see all the blues and the purples representing our crown chakra or throat chakra. And this is the card that represents our ability to focus and realize that there are multidimensional aspects that show up regularly in our day-to-day life. And when we have claimed our sense of authority, we're standing in our power, but we're running everything through our heart center as well, then we have been connected to our higher consciousness. And if we maintain our connection to that higher consciousness by continuing to do the soul work, to do the meditations or the yoga or whatever it is that you do, then your end result is alchemy. And alchemy is our magical ability to transmute energies from something negative into something positive. And we cannot make any of those miraculous things take place if we're not staying in our state of higher consciousness and maintaining that connection. Now, I don't mean you have to maintain that connection all the time. Everybody slips out of their connection. But as long as you are doing the work and catching yourself and bringing yourself back into alignment by using your personal power, then that's when you can really make the magic happen. That will be the time that you're going to witness those miracles occur that you didn't think could happen. You'll land the job that you thought was out of reach, but you applied for it anyways. And that's when the beauty really starts to take place. The synchronicities will be taking over your world. You could be seeing numbers like 1111 or other repeating patterns. And when you are seeing those things, those are your signs from the universe that you are in alignment and you can make the magic happen. So this card, one of your clarifiers, is spring equinox and a sense of rebirth. this is fantastic because it's that time of year. And if we are making magic happen and we're maintaining our connection to our higher source of consciousness and we are standing in our power, then absolutely this is going to be a sign of rebirth. You are not going to be the same person that you were yesterday or even 5 minutes ago, because every single time that we are taking a step to maintain our connection to our higher source, we are growing and expanding outside of what we had been previously. So this card, it says, don't let your pride get in the way. And that one's fun because, again, there's a lot of yellows in there. And this one even has some orange. And a lot of the time, when we're talking about our connection to Source or God or the universe or spirit or whatever it is that you're calling it, a lot of the times our ego will step in and it will try to tell you that you're crazy. And your ego will tell you that you're not an alchemist. You can't make magic happen. Authority, please. And that's when you need to say, excuse me, ego, I've got some magic to do. And you need to put your ego in its place. You need to go, reset, maintain that connection with your sense of higher consciousness, higher power, source energy, whatever it is, so that you can see yourself in the rebirth phase, and you can then watch all the magic that you are going to create from being in that space. Now, love this. Okay, so the card that we got for the crystals and the angel message, I don't even know how you say this. Andalusite, maybe? It says, are you in search of a deeper spiritual connection? Go outdoors and commune with nature. Listen to the messages being communicated to you by the trees, plants, and animals. Spend some time in a garden or the woods and put your attention on your alignment with Mother Nature. And the Archangel message is from Archangel Sandalphon. It says, I am aligned with the 4 elements and the 4 directions. I'm a conduit for healing Mother Earth. Protective energies always keep me safe. I receive spiritual insight to easily resolve problems, and I know I am connected with all of life. So for this reading, pile 3, those of you who chose the Moldavite pile, it looks to me like you guys are about to make some serious magic happen, and I cannot wait to meet the people that you are about to become through this rebirth process. So remember, pile 3, maintain your higher connection with source energy, God, whoever it is that you reach out to, and make sure that you maintain your authority and keep your sense of power. Thanks, guys. Have a fantastic night.